Welcome to the Fit Diet Podcast, where we'll learn the processes and habits of healthy eating, exercise, and lifestyle. Food for fitness, if you will, with the founders of MindMuscleMemory.com, Miles Betcha and Greg Rando. Miles' expertise with programs and coaching have led him to training thousands of clients all over for the past 2 decades with enormous success, and he's dedicated himself to transforming the course of fitness and health for many. And his partner, Greg Rando, has his own unique skill set as a professional in the world of bodybuilding, with the ability to teach and inspire all he comes in contact with. Join me now as we discover the secrets of sticky fiber and proper habits and how to implement the MindMuscleMemory.com lifestyle. Welcome in and thanks for listening. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Fit Diet Podcast, brought to you by Mind Muscle Memory. Its co-founders Miles Betcha and Mr. Greg Rando to discuss the 3 keys to elevate your fitness comeback success. And not for nothing, but who doesn't love a comeback? A good comeback. Whether it be a sports team or in a relationship, or moreover, as we like to discuss here, our fitness levels. We once maybe had it all dialed in and going on and fell off the wagon, got off the rails. But today we're going to offer you up, myself, Bobby Stein, the host of the show, and the 2 gentlemen about the 3 keys to elevate our fitness success. Miles Betcha, how are you today?
Very good. Thanks, Bobby.
A little bird told me you're caffeinated. You're pouring a cup of coffee and you're raring to go.
Oh, yes. The Joe is kicking in.
Uh-oh. Beware. Everybody beware. Better be on our A games now just to try to play keep up and catch up. How about you, Greg? How are you today?
Doing good, Bobby. Thanks.
Glad to hear it. So to elevate our results, we must include these 3 pieces of the puzzle. And that's going to be energize, engage, and elevate. Sometimes getting results can feel like struggling to complete a 1,000-piece puzzle, but with all of the information and opinions out there today, it can be overwhelming and confusing. Just with all the different pieces and variables to choose from, it can be difficult to see which ones are a right fit for you and which ones to leave by the wayside. So, Miles, why don't you start us off and explain to the audience today your rendition of the 3 keys to elevate our fitness comeback success, please.
Sure. The energize is really looking at the first steps. The whole puzzle here is to provide the fuel source, which is going to be able to power our body, our brain, our mind, and put it into a system where that energize comes from. Of course, there's a few pieces to that. What we need to eat and the whole foods we need to have to energize and how we need to stay hydrated. But the whole part of the puzzle is just to energize so that we can engage in our activities. If we are engaging in our physical activities, our strengthening and our interval training and our flexibility and really feeling those muscles getting to work, then we are at that second piece of the puzzle, which is the engaging. And elevate really takes it to the level where we want to bring together what we are, what we're doing here, and that is elevating our performance, or elevating our metabolism, elevating our capacity to do more work for longer, and feel good afterwards, not be really tired afterwards, but actually feel like we've elevated our physical capacity and feel like we can we're really at our best comeback, like you said, our comeback, our greatest comeback ever, and keep it at a high level.
Yeah, the best version of ourselves. And I don't have a problem with eating enough calories to energize myself. What I think is most important regarding the first step of energize is eat the correct calories, the correct sources. And we discussed that on the program, Greg, the sticky fibers, the plant-based, by and large, getting good, solid quality sources of animal protein so that we can engage and that we can get through the training, like Miles says, without fatigue so much, because our endurance as we elevate has, our conditioning has gotten back up. Do you agree with what Miles was just saying, sir?
Oh, well, absolutely, I do. Like you started off saying, Bobby, there are a lot of pieces to the puzzle, a lot of trends, a lot of hype, a lot of fads out there.
Mm-hmm.
And, when we're looking to, set out on our fitness journey and our health journey, there's certain things we can kind of boil down and focus on, and that is, our nutrition, our exercise, and our recovery. And, these levels of these components, the energizing, we in order to elevate our fitness level, in order to achieve our goals, we need energy. We need to engage our bodies, our muscles, and we need to improve our endurance and focus on our recovery. And this is how we're gonna set out on our journey. We're gonna establish our small victories. We're gonna achieve them, and we're gonna get the results we're looking for.
Greg, what in your estimation
Sure.
what's in your estimation the importance of recovery and rest? I know it's it's paramount, but coming from a unique background as you do as a competitor in the field of in the world of bodybuilding, how important is it, and what are the benefits to resting and recharging?
Yeah, because our bodies, rebuild, recover, repair when we rest, when we eat, when we're not in the gym, right? That's when we're doing our repairing and restoring and regrowing after we do the damage in the gym. So, it's important to understand what muscles we attack and, how we went about, breaking them down and traumatizing them, so we can focus on those areas of recovery, whether it's the rest or the hydration or the nutrition. And then, then we can strategically move on to another group. It's not that we aren't able to go to the gym with some sort of frequency. We just need to utilize the muscles efficiently and identify, what's been utilized and worked, and incorporate the right routine to help those areas recover while we move on, and target other areas. So that's why we set up routines at Mind Muscle Memory as coaches. We establish split routines. We customize programs, and then within that, we are able to clearly understand the recovery necessary to allow ourselves to achieve those results we're looking for. Does that answer your question, Bobby?
Yeah, but I have a real bad habit of over engaging in the rest portion of the equation. If when left to my own devices, I would just as soon, rub a magic bottle, a genie, and pop out, and and I'd achieve all my goals. But no, I do agree with you 100%. It does answer the question. I think that the lion's share of the growth that we experience and the strength that we experience it comes from outside the gym, how we recover. And of course, it circles back to the first thing, which is, energized with nutrition, So that was a good answer.
Well, yeah, for sure. And the part of saying it's like looking at a 1,000-piece puzzle, trying to look at all those pieces and how they fit together, and we sort of say the subtle things like that. It comes down to these key basics, but to learn your body, it takes time, and it does take time to gain the knowledge of how you're saying, Greg, what muscles and how long it'll take for those to recover, and how much, what hydration did you, use, what do you need to replenish, and so it seems as a lot of times we really run into the problem with so many people have heard about the 1,000 pieces, all these different little components of subtleties, but they get mixed up and they're not looking at the basics. So we really want to just keep it to these understanding of work on these basics, and know that you're doing the exercise to make an adaptation, right? And then you got to recover from it, like you said, and that recovery is going to take overnight. It's going to take the next day maybe, and it's how you're eating and how you're doing with your recovery that's going to make that adaptation stick, right? And actually get the results you want.
Mm-hmm. Well, We're talking with the fellas, the owners of Mind, Muscle, Memory, M3, the coaches, the primary coaches. Visit them over at www.mindmusclememory.com. Scope out the blogs. This article is incorporated into that, along with many others. But yeah, I think that 1,000-piece puzzle illustration, that mental picture, is a valuable one. Most folks look at it, they get overwhelmed. These folks here at M3, joining the Fit Diet podcast, they can demystify the process. And when you have a coach that comes alongside of you and you're pointed in the same direction, you're going to see results much quicker and without all that frustration and anxiety that can be accompanied on going it your own. It's not to say that you can't, but why not fast track it? So do yourself a favor, get over there today and look the fellas up. They'll assign a coach, do an evaluation, and put you on the royal road to good health and demystify the process. Don't you think, Greg?
I love demystifying the process. I'm going to use that one because that makes me sound even smarter to my clients.
Well, I have a copyright and a patent on that, so you're going to have to go through the copyright courts and try and demystify that process to get the word in use for yourself. So there.
That figures.
Well, it is a good saying. It is a good saying, though. Like you said, like mystical. How do you get the physical body to do and look like that? And it's not that mystical. It's just a lot of subtleties, and working on these basic keys of what you're eating, what you're doing to adapt and work your muscles and your strength training, and how you recover from these things too.
Right, and all of us, since for years, high school, college, after college, in competitive years, all three of us, we played sports, we compete, we work out, and it's very important to make sure.
I think we lost Mr. Rando on the broadcast here.
Important to make sure that. They have we can say have somebody alongside you that will, or the right information, instead of just getting snippets of things, you want to pull things together. And that's really what we try to work to do for our clients and our subscribers on the Fit Diet podcast, is to make sure that we're demystifying, we're putting all those subtleties into frameworks or
the nuances,
ways to explain it to help people, right?
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to break for a second. I'm going to get Mr. Greg Rando back on the line. He seems to drop off. Miles, stand by 1 second. We're going to see if we can get Greg back on the line. Okay. I need some background elevator music. Miles, if you'd like to hum along for this commercial break, this important commercial break, I think that would be important right now.
What I would say is that for certain, we are here for our clients of so many years. We have clients that stay with us a long time, and that's because we do continue to demystify, and it's we start right from the very beginning with our clients, like you said, with evaluations and letting them understand, the quick results they're getting is part of the process, but we want them to get those lasting results, and it doesn't take long to see and feel certain things that are occurring, especially if you stick to these three keys, which we are our foundation to the program here.
By all means. Well, we're going to take a short commercial break. Stand by, everybody, and don't go anywhere. 1 second. There he is.
Hey,
and we're back. We were just discussing, Greg, just the subtle nuances. I don't know if I shared with you fellas that little tale of that little that visual allegory of the horse who wins first place is not necessarily he gets 10 times the prize money, that horse and the jockey. but he's not 10 times faster than the second place horse necessarily, right? He might just win by a nose, and he might take home, garner 10 times the prize money. And equating that to, building the foundation and demystifying the puzzle pieces before us, if we can harness in those, by contrast, those little slight nuances, those little differences, that could be enough to give us that winning edge. And I think that that's key for folks that, have been out of the game for a minute, right? They've experienced success in the gym, but, time and what we're going through right now, fellas, right? A lot of states across the nation are in various states of restriction in terms of access to gyms and fitness and things like that. So, 2 pounds turns into 5, 7, and again, you look up and you're 15 pounds out of shape, out of round in short order, 8 months, 9 months. And so it can seem a little bit, daunting. And that's the reason for the season for the M3 program right there. Get in touch with these guys. So Outstanding. Mm-hmm. Welcome back, Greg.
Hey, thanks, guys. Glitches with my device here, sorry.
No problem. We'll let you off the hook.
It happens.
We're not all together technical savvy. We just know the fitness business a little bit, I think, and how to take care of folks' biology and their machine. So yeah, guys, I think it's awesome.
And I think all I was saying was the three of us, we have a lot of experience, and we're here, on these podcasts, and we're here developing these blogs and programs within M3 to try to share our experience and backgrounds and what we've learned to be successful, at least to meet our goals. So we're out there trying to share our experiences over the years and and help everyone out there to develop, maybe change their habits, develop new habits, and adopt some of these mind muscle programs. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
And definitely circling back a little bit to a previous podcast. Sometimes we do the engaging part. We do our strengthening or our one component a little bit too much, and then we don't pay as much of attention to our sticky fiber and making sure our meals have enough whole foods, dietary fiber in them, and or we don't do enough cardio. So that was the other one we talked about previously. If we're doing enough weight training but not doing enough cardio, sometimes a lot of people end up just doing a lot of cardio, and that's something we find very common with people like, I've been working to get in shape, and they've been just doing more cardio and not really getting the muscle structure stronger. So that's one thing I just want to touch on for everyone listening, and is our as we continue to move forward, we're always going to be doing these foundational things, and the 1,000-piece puzzle and the confusion of looking at that when you drop a big puzzle like that, all those small pieces. Well, you start on the edges, right? You start looking for all those. At least I do, and the people I've always done 1,000-piece puzzle with.
Yeah, set up the borders.
You set up the borders, you set up the edges, and then you start working on different colors and things that work in. So, having that in mind, it is confusing when you just throw out all this information all at once, and you hear it in the media and on the advertisements. Of course, the advertisements, never mind, the general one piece here and one piece there. But if you start with these borders and these edges, and you always do those, you make sure they're solid, you always hold them true, then you can work on filling everything else out from there.
Makes good sense.
Yeah.
Well, there's three spokes to this wheel, if you will, right? Energize, engage, and elevate. So if we look at the emblem of the Mercedes-Benz, so there's 3 legs encompassed by a circle. So if we were to take out and remove from that circle or that wheel the cardio, we're going to be left with 2 out of the, just the remaining 2 spokes of that wheel. And it's going to be like a flat tire. So it's so important to keep the balance, keep the the legs of the wheel, or the spokes of the wheel, finely tuned, in place, and working in harmony and conjunction with each other. I love that analogy of setting the border on the puzzle. I think it paints a good picture, and I think I know for me, whenever I tackle a new endeavor, at the outset, it seems daunting. It seems, almost like, but I draw from encouragement from other folks, other people, other entities that have gone before me and done it. And that's what you guys have done. And so, there is a way to do it, and it's a process. And if you commit to long-lasting, work and effort, you will see the results. Our minds and our body are a pliable instrument that can be molded and formed to our desire to a great degree. We have more control than we think. We're not helpless.
Oh yeah. And those short-term goals, of course, that Greg mentioned too. The like, even if we look at the 1,000-piece puzzle, which is we sort of put together the confusion of that, but short term would be like, I got a corner started, I got this whole side done. You'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
And then once you get the other side, then once you get the whole edges done, you're like, now I'm happy with that. Now I can work on the inside. So you really do have to kind of pause and look at the overall picture of where you're staging your comeback. You're losing 5 pounds, 10 pounds of body fat. You're feeling like, okay, but maybe you're not at that cardiovascular fitness you were at before yet, or your strength is off, your muscle tone isn't where it should be. But you just really look at the where you are now, and that's what we help evaluate with too. We help everyone to take that moment and see where you are now, and see how much you've learned, how satisfying it can be to see the progress you've made. And a lot of people don't take time to do that, and that's one of the special things about our programming at M3 is that we really are there for you to do that, so that then you can you've gained momentum, you've gained that structure, you've gained that foundation. You can now work on the next short-term goal.
Your partners in success.
You know what it is too.
Your partners in success. Mind, Muscle, Memory, the M3 program. Miles Betcha, co-founder along with Greg Rando. This is the Fit Diet Podcast, and we certainly appreciate you joining us today. Guys, any closing comments for today's episode? We had a little bit of a hiccup, but I thought it worked out swell myself. Greg?
Well, thanks. Closing comment? No, Bobby just made me feel bad about myself, so I'm not going to speak anymore today. I may not even be here for the next episode. Maybe I'll be suspended. Yeah.
Oh, we love you. We love you so much we can hardly stand ourselves, right, Miles?
I'm sorry, buddy. That'll be the last time that happens. That'll be the last time that happens. But no, the three things that we can control, right? We can energize, we can engage, and we can elevate, and we can rest and recuperate. So let's try to focus in on the things we can control and start with the nutrition and the activity. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's really what is so well said, Greg. That this is all about what you can control. These are the things that you decide on what food you shop for. What meals you're going to have with those foods. You decide on the number of times you get to the gym, or you work out at the home, or even in the garage, at the home fitness center. You make that decision. It's in your control, and that's certainly where we want to make sure we have the highest
availability
impact for people. Yeah. The impact, we want M3 to be that impact place for people to say, yeah, you have control of this. We'll help show you how you can get it done, and when you can schedule it, and what things you can do to eat that are the whole foods that make you have the right amount of sticky fiber in them, and the protein sources. And so it's a great, well said, Greg. You're in control. We can help you do that, and we want people to realize that they can be a hero within themselves and for those around them, because they reshaping themselves. So you reshape you, and you make yourself into what you want with what you have to control.
Beautifully said.
That's
I concur wholeheartedly.
Don't be a flat tire, like Bobby said.
Don't
Get
be
all
a
those
flat
components
tire.
in.
Don't be a flat tire. Don't look at the news. Don't look at the things that are out of our control. Let's write our own scripts. We have it within us,
Right.
and this tool over at the webpage www.mindmusclememory.com is there to help you write that script, to control what we can control.
Yep.
And I guess that's the lesson of the day. Well, you have all been listening to the Fit Diet Podcast, brought to you by Mind Muscle Memory M3, the co-founders Miles Betcha and Greg Rando. For those two gentlemen, I'm your co-host, Bobby Stein, and we just say thanks for listening and take good care.